Hey, I'm Julianna. Welcome back to my channel. If you're looking for a free holiday gift idea for the clarinetist in your life, or you're looking for new pieces to play without breaking the bank, I'm counting down some of the best contest and audition pieces written for clarinet that are free to download on the internet. Of course, I'm talking about IMSLP. If you've never heard about IMSLP before, it stands for the International Music Score Library Project. IMSLP is a vast online library that provides free access to a wide range of musical scores, including many for clarinet. Keep in mind that the availability of specific scores can change, and it's always a good idea to check on IMSLP on the website directly for the most up-to-date information. But before we get started, I feel like I should mention what public domain music includes and some of the copyright disclaimers. So public domain music refers to music whose copyright has expired or was never subject to copyright protection in the first place. When a piece of music is in the public domain, it means that it is not owned or controlled by an individual or entity, and it can be freely used, reproduced, and distributed by the public or to the public without the need for permission or payment of royalties. So several factors can place music in public domain. Three of them I can think of right now are expired copyright, no copyright protection, and Creative Commons licenses. So when we're talking about copyright protection, it has a limited duration after which works enter the public domain, and the duration of copyright varies widely between countries and has changed over time due to amendments in copyright laws. I know I was going to talk about the Poulenc Clarinet Sonata on this list of free music, but when I tried to download it, there was a disclaimer, at least in the United States. I don't think that it is public domain, but it might be public domain in your country. So I would just check on that. And then as of my knowledge, many authors are protected for the author's lifetime plus a certain number of years, usually 70 years in many countries. My husband works for the Library of Congress, and he always tells me that a good rule of thumb is the date of the composer's death plus 100 years will put the work into public domain. Of course, it can vary with different composers. He also tells me that the Gershwin, Bernstein, and Copland estate, he doesn't think that their music will ever be public domain, but I guess we'll see, right? So when we're talking about no copyright protection, some works were never protected by copyright, either because the creator did not follow the necessary legal procedures or because they intentionally waived their rights. And when we're talking about Creative Commons licenses, some creators choose to release their works under Creative Commons licenses, which allows others to use, share, and sometimes modify the work while still retaining certain rights. Depending on the specific Creative Commons licenses, the music may be effectively in the public domain for certain uses. It's important to note that copyright laws can be complex and are subject to change. Additionally, the rules for determining when a work enters the public domain can differ significantly between countries. So it would be advisable to check the specific copyright laws of the relevant jurisdiction that you're in if you're in doubt, or seek legal advice. Okay, without further ado, we're going to dive into the world of free clarinet solos together. So welcome to a musical journey where the notes are free, but the experience is priceless. Here are a few notable clarinet solos that you might find on IMSLP that would be helpful for you. I will say that most of these solos are for advanced players, so just keep that in mind. But if you're not there in your playing journey, just keep working on it because these pieces are wonderful. So if you're a clarinet player and you've never played the Weber pieces, what are you doing? You got to play these Webers. Okay, so we have the Weber Concertino. This is just a great standard recital piece, concert piece, audition piece. It's just all the Webers I think are fantastic. So we have the Concertino, we have Weber Concerto No. 1, Weber Concerto No. 2, we have the Grand Duo Concertant, and these are all free. Amazingly. You know how much money I've spent over my lifetime just buying these scores to have? So I just think it's so wonderful that it's free to everybody to download. So get on there. I'll leave links in the description box and download your Weber. Next up is arguably the greatest clarinet concerto of all time, the Mozart Clarinet Concerto. What's the saying? Mozart's too easy for beginners and too hard for professionals, right? But this is free. This is actually the Baron Reiter edition that I have, which is the Urtext edition. But you can get a free version of the Mozart on IMSLP. It's free. Next, I'm going to talk about the Spohr concertos. I think he wrote 4 concerti, but number 1 and number 2 are the concerti I'm most familiar with, and they're really great. They're very difficult, I will say, but if you've never played any of the Spohr concertos, you should get on IMSLP and download them. The next piece I'll mention is the Solo de Concours by Messager. It's a great recital piece if you've never played it before. Also, the Solo de Concours by Rabaud is another great recital piece or competition piece if you're looking for something that's very flashy. I actually don't own a copy, so I'm going to go on IMSLP and download my free copy. The Debussy Premier Rhapsody, sorry I have a coffee stain right here, but the Debussy Premier Rhapsody, one of the best works for clarinet. Oh, so beautiful. If you've never played this, it's very difficult. Impressionist era. It's a very great piece for recitals, I think. I wouldn't necessarily play this for like a competition against other instruments, but you know, for any sort of recital you're doing, this is a beautiful piece. Johannes Brahms, Sonata No. 1 and Sonata No. 2 for clarinet. The most beautiful pieces. I love Brahms so much. If you've never played, these are very difficult pieces to put together with a pianist. Usually the piano parts are way more challenging than the clarinet part, but the clarinet part has its own challenges. If you've never played any Brahms pieces, I highly recommend studying the Brahms sonatas. Just absolutely beautiful. Next up is Camille Saint-Saens Sonata for Clarinet and Piano. It's a 4-movement work. It's a beautiful piece. If you've never played before, it's totally free on IMSLP, and I would totally check it out. Any of the Crusell clarinet concerti are great pieces to play, and also the Stamitz Clarinet Concerto No. 3 is the one I'm familiar with, but that's free on IMSLP, and anything by these composers are definitely in public domain, so I would check those out as well. And that wraps up my journey into the best free clarinet pieces on IMSLP. I hope you've enjoyed discovering these musical gems as much as I have. If you found a new favorite piece or have any suggestions for other hidden treasures, let us know in the comments section below. I would love to check out the pieces that you have found for free on IMSLP. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel for more musical adventures. I'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.